Let's continue our discussion about Donald Trump and voting and vote by mail. Republicans are not even pretending to hide their desire to suppress turnout in November. Why? Republicans know lower turnout is better for them. Sometimes we have to get into the weeds and explain this, that. They just know it's better for them for fewer people to vote. Donald Trump also, by the way, vote by mail creates a paper trail, which they don't want. It makes it more difficult to disenfranchise people. They don't want any of this stuff, right? Donald Trump has been ranting and raving against vote by mail for more than a month now. In the last week, we've seen this full court press from him and from his press secretary and from others. Donald Trump threatening to withhold money from states if they do vote by mail, as I already told you, Michigan and Nevada. And now Donald Trump used this word honor again when talking about suppressing votes. You might remember earlier this week, Donald Trump said it was an honor to have the most coronavirus cases in the world. That was really weird. Here is video of Trump, again, arguing against vote by mail, saying voting is an honor. Now, in reality, voting is a right, but let's take a listen to what Trump said.
Common sense would tell you that it's massive manipulation can take place. Massive. And you have cases of fraudulent ballots where they actually print them and they give them to people to sign. Maybe the same person signs them with different writing, different pens. I don't know. There's a lot of things can happen. No, if you can, you should go and vote. Voting is an honor. It shouldn't be something where they send you a pile of stuff and you send it back.
Voting is an honor. It shouldn't be something where they send you a pile of stuff, Donald Trump says. They send you a ballot, the same ballot you would get at the ballot box, and they send you an envelope in which you return that ballot. It's not a pile of stuff. Now, what's fascinating is that what Trump is describing is number one, a terrible way to win an election. And number two, it's something that it's exclusively Republicans who have been caught doing it. So there's the retail. Whoa, sorry, I hit my mic there. There's the retail strategy of voter fraud. And then there's the wholesale strategy of voter suppression and election fraud. So the retail strategy is what Trump is talking about. Vote by mail is a way that people could send in two ballots, or, you vote harvesting, or whatever the case may be. Terrible way to win elections. And it also doesn't happen. 7 to 8 instances of vote by mail fraud per year, statistically zero. The wholesale strategy is you suppress the vote. You buy election officials. You reduce turnout. That is actually the simpler and more effective way of stealing elections. So the entire strategy Trump is describing here, duplicates and printing ballots and all of this different stuff, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. 250 million absentee ballots have been cast over the last 20 years, and we have 7 to 8 instances of so-called fraud with those per year. Trump, again, though, talking about fake ballots and the like. Take a look.
What is it that you think that's happening in Michigan that's illegal?
Well, I think if we're talking about the mail-in ballots, if people mail in ballots, there's a lot of illegality. They send in ballots that they harvest ballots. You know all about harvesting, and they do lots of bad things. Ideally, people go out and they vote. Now, if you need a mail-in ballot, if you need a specific, like as an example, I'm in the White House, and I have to send a ballot to Florida, that makes sense. So if you need it for some reason, or if somebody's not well, that's one thing. But when you send out 7.7 million mail-in ballots, there's forgeries, there's frankly duplication where they print ballots on the same kind of paper with the same kind of machinery and you can't tell the difference. And they send in thousands and thousands of fake ballots. And I tell you what, this nation can't be going down that path because it's a very dangerous path to go down.
This is not a dangerous path to go down. It's a very advanced and sophisticated path to go down. Ballot harvesting, which Trump talks about, that's something Republicans have been caught doing. And other than a couple of instances of Republicans doing it, we don't know of any ballot harvesting that turned any election. I believe there was a special election. I'm trying to think. There was one district in 2018. I don't remember if it was a special. I think it was North Carolina. I wish I had it in front of me, where this sort of funny business from a Republican strategist likely influenced the results, or it could have. There are really no other examples of it. Now, on the other hand, the strategies that the right uses, like voter suppression, closing down voting places, purging people from voter rolls, that is how you actually suppress the vote in order to win elections. Double votes, in-person voter fraud, absentee ballot fraud doesn't win you elections. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture just a little bit. Not much good is likely to come from coronavirus. We can hope, right? We can hope this will be a wake-up call. We'll realize how fragile our economic systems are, and we will strengthen them. We will make them anti-fragile, to take a phrase from Nassim Nicholas Taleb. We might realize that we were totally unprepared for a pandemic. We'll get better prepared for the next pandemic. I don't know that that's really going to happen. Trump disbanded the pandemic response team. Trump shouldn't have. We didn't shut things down quickly enough. March 5th would have been a perfectly reasonable time to do it. Didn't happen. South Korea did it. Taiwan did it. New Zealand did it. There's a lot to learn. I don't know that we're going to learn anything there. If we can move a bunch of states to vote by mail, it would be a major advancement, and maybe we can make some progress there. But this entire voting is an honor thing. Don't be tricked. Voting is a right, period. This entire voting is an honor, and it should be done the way Trump likes. It's publicly justifying voter suppression, specifically to get Donald Trump reelected. Trump sees the polls. Trump publicly says Joe Biden has no shot, but we know Trump is scared. Trump 2 weeks ago furiously got on the phone with his campaign manager, Brad Parscale, and said, how the hell am I losing to Joe Biden? Michigan could be key for Donald Trump. He's threatening Michigan about vote by mail. They are doing it in broad daylight. They have to be stopped. And one of the ways that we stop them is by ensuring that everybody votes in November. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.